Hi, I'm Roseanna from Crochet, and today I'm going to be sharing with you about my visit to the Mega Atesanal in Sao Paulo. So it's been a little while since my last video, as we are in winter right now and my little one has been on holidays, so virtually everything has stopped. But I have got a lot of stuff to tell you over the next few weeks about what I have actually been doing around childcare and general life and crochet stuff. But before I share all of that with you, the first thing I wanted to share with you is about my visit to the Mega Atesanal in Brazil. Now, this is a yearly event which happens for I think 3 or 4 days every year in Sao Paulo, and it was my first time there, and me and a load of my friends made a girly day of this, and it was absolutely brilliant. It was a huge event, so think of a big yarn festival but including every single craft. So me and my friends arrived there at 12 o'clock and we left at 6. And we were all into different areas of craft, some into printing, some into perfume making, me into yarn. And honestly, we did not bump into each other once. And at the end of the day, we were talking about what we'd seen and what we tried and the things we bought. And I did not see any of the things that they bought or seen, because the event was so big and so diverse that you could easily have gone back another day to see all the different stalls. So obviously I am yarn orientated, so I went around to see all the yarn vendors. Now in Brazil there are a few traditional yarn vendors, such as Circulo, which is a big company here that provides yarn for every day. And I use a lot of their yarn, especially for my flowers, because it's easy. There is a huge range of colors. It crochets well, and it's something I can get at a very reasonable price. Now, there were other yarn vendors that I have never seen, and it was really interesting. So today I'm going to be sharing with you a bit about the vendors which I was impressed with and really excited to see some new creations in Brazil, which I've not seen in Europe or in England. So I'm going to share with you today some of the little things I got. I didn't buy a lot because, to be honest, the vendors were more showing products and you couldn't actually buy. If you did, you had to go to a certain shop to go and find these products. But I will share with you what I saw and what I've learned, and some of the yarns I am going to be trying in the future once I get my mitts on them. So I'll put my tea down and let's start. So as soon as I went in, there was this beautiful tropical stall, very bright, vibrant, loads of different colors, very Brazilian. It's live, it's creative, it's bright. And this was a new brand called Fischer, and I have never heard of this brand. And I got talking to the owner and he explained a lot about the yarn. And they had some yarn which was called paper. Now this yarn was 100% recycled from plastic bottles in Brazil. And I thought that was amazing because I've not seen anything like that here in Brazil. And the quality of the yarn was so delicate, like ribbon, and I can't wait to be able to get my hands on some of this yarn to try for future projects. So I'm going to throw in some videos now of the Fischer store and the variety they had. Now, they had everything on their store. The majority of things were accessory based. So we're talking bags, we're talking shoes, little key rings. And a lot of this is made with thicker yarn, which is not something I'm used to. I'm more steered towards the finer yarns with a smaller hook, but it was really interesting to see. And there was a lady there who made these most amazing crochet shoes. And she would crochet around these shoes and she would add a beautiful tropical flower. And I've never seen anything like this. So I've got a video here of the shoes, and unfortunately I didn't get a video of the lady wearing them, but it was a really creative idea which I've never thought of, to add crochet onto shoes or adding flowers onto shoes. For me, I tend to keep to very simple shoes, but I thought these were amazing. So, like I said, I got talking to the vendor. I was extremely lucky and he gave me a goodie bag. And here's my goodie bag. It's the biggest canvas bag I have ever seen and ever owned. Look how big this is. This is huge. I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for because it's so big. Maybe it's for blankets or something. But he was very kind and explained a lot about the yarns to me and actually gave me some samples. So I'm going to show them to you now in this giant, huge bag. It's like Father Christmas's sack, you know? It's so big. Okay, so to start, here is the company, Fischer. So I'm going to put a link down below, and they have got a huge variety of yarns. They're made in Brazil, but they've also got obviously Instagram and a website and a YouTube with loads of free patterns. So this was really, really interesting. So that's the little card, and within the goodie bag I also got a scarf. Like I said, this store was tropical. It was bright, it was bold, it was Brazilian, and these are some of the colors which I will only wear in summer. And part of the package I got was I received this beautiful scarf. And what was interesting is they had designed these scarves to be added onto bags. So you would fold the scarf as so, obviously much neater. So you would fold the scarf as so, and you'd make a crochet handbag and then tie this through onto both sides, and it becomes a handbag handle, which I thought was a really nice idea and a really creative gift to give people on their store. So this will be used in the future. I'm going to hold on to it for my summer, which will be your Christmas for many. So that was a really nice, unusual gift. Now, they also gave me, here it is, a color wheel. Now, I thought this was really useful for people who want to push their boundaries with colors, or to find an easier way to find harmonious colors which mix together. Now, I don't actually use one of these. I've used one in school, but I thought it was such a clever way to encourage people to create more colorful projects with different color yarns. Now, this is something I've never needed for crochet. I'm really quite good at seeing colors in crochet, but in knitting it's strange. I can't see the color combinations. When you do a knitted yoke and you have all those different colors, and I see people pick 5 different colors, and I think, I don't think that's gonna match, and then they put it together and it looks amazing. So I think this would be a good idea for me because it has a 5 color match on the back. So I could choose a main color and I could choose some harmonious tones which go with those colors. So that was a nice little addition to give to yarn lovers, crochet designers, and I thought it was just something new. It's a really nice idea. So what else did we get? 2 yarns which are a t-shirt yarn. So Fio de Malha means t-shirt yarn here. So I got given a yellow, and a black. Let me see if I can get those in for you. So I got given those 2. So instantly for me, I'm thinking a bee. Black and yellow, Manchester bee. So I'm going to try these yarns. It's not a yarn I've ever tried. A few of you have suggested to me some patterns with t-shirt yarn. I've never tried it, so I'm going to give it a go and see how it goes. So I got given those two, and also a yarn, a cord yarn. Now again, I've never used cord yarn. I am the finer yarn type, but it looks interesting for some new projects I'm thinking of trying, some baskets and such. Obviously this won't make a basket, but it can give me an idea of how the stitches work and what type of crochet hook and so on and so forth. So I was given one in green and this one in sparkly silver, which to me is screaming to be made into a star for Christmas. So those are the yarns I was given. If you have any yarn, any crochet pattern suggestions for these types of yarns, please put them in the link below. It's not an area I know. I'm very new to this type of yarn. So if you have any ideas or any suggestions, please send me a message. I'll be very grateful and to give some of those a try. And finally, within this bag, I was kindly gifted a notebook, which is always useful, and some biscuits, which are not even opened. So that was Fischer yarns. I will be having a little play with those, get my crochet hook out and see how it goes. Now, while I was there, I also got to see some of the amazing crochet installations. Now, this is something I would love to be part of in the future. They have made these huge crochet installations where you could go and take selfies and feel the yarn, see how the yarn was crocheted up. There was butterflies, there was flowers, there was the rainforest. It was amazing. So not only were you seeing yarn, you were seeing yarn art. And all over this venue, I didn't get films of everything, but there was every type of yarn art you could find. There was full mannequins. There was this huge sheep. Now this sheep I'm talking was at least 2-3 meters tall. It was huge. There was also a whole beetle covered in crochet granny squares, which was amazing, and loads of other installations. So I'm going to show a few of these to you now. Those little videos. And another yarn company I got to meet was a company called Made by You, and I was convinced that this was American. I was very wrong. It is Brazilian. And for me, this yarn company was on the forefront for me in Brazil of making yarns with more natural fibers that I have never heard of. So they had a collection of yarn called viscose, which is viscous, but the viscous that this was made from is made from cauda chicana, which here in Brazil is sugarcane fiber. And it created the most silk-like fiber, silk-like material with crochet stitches or knitting stitches. So I managed to make a few videos. I'm going to throw them in now. And they have a beautiful range of colors. Now, this was a yarn company. Again, you couldn't buy the yarn on site. It has to be ordered after the event, and they make a huge range of kits. Now, there was 2 yarns there that I'm really excited to try and get my mitts on and have a little play. And one of them was this sugarcane yarn, which looked very light, very fluid, which I thought would make a really, really nice crochet top for the summer. And the second yarn was a mix with aloe vera. Now this is something I have never heard about. I don't know if you have outside of Brazil. And apparently, because it contains aloe vera within the yarn fiber, it's very soothing for the skin. Now with me having eczema, I have very sensitive skin. This is a yarn which I'm really interested to try and see if what they say on the package actually helps my type of skin. So that's something I will be trying to get an order in and trying in the future. But like I said, these are summer yarns, so give me a bit of time. We are in the midst of winter and I'm finishing lots of winter projects. So watch this space. Now, those are the main yarn companies that I want to share with you. I've shown you some videos of the event. I hope you've seen it. And now I'm going to share with you what I bought. Like I said, I didn't buy much. I couldn't buy the yarns. They weren't available for sale. But I did buy two little things. Well, one big thing, which I've been trying to find for a long while. So I'm going to show you now. Now, I am a lover of all things natural. You will find in my photos, in my house, everything is natural fibers. Where I can, I like to use natural materials. So when I saw these handbag handles, I thought, I need to try these. I've never crocheted a bag. It's something I've never done. So I thought these would make a really nice addition. So these are going to be held for a project in the future. I'm thinking more of a tote bag, a square. I'm not sure. Let's see how it goes. And this would be like a really nice project bag. And these are made from bamboo. And because there was huge boxes of these, I could actually go through them and try and find two handles that are very similar, with it being a natural fiber. The bamboo handles were extremely different in size, in width, so I took my time. I'm sure I annoyed many people to try and find two which I felt were the same and would be comfortable for me to hold as a handbag. So watch this space with those. And the final thing I bought was something for my new office. Now, as you see, all my videos are here, always in my bedroom. My office is being made, and it's taking a while, hence why we have not had any videos for a while. But we are on the final bit now. So the windows are in. The flooring is done. Now we're just waiting for the walls to be plastered, and then I can get in there and start decorating. Now, one of the yarn rooms I love, well, creative artist rooms I love, is a lady from England, and I'm just going to try and remember her name. It's gone. I will put in a photo now and you will see her name. And she has this most amazing office. Now, the room I've chosen to have my yarn office is on the other side of the house, where we get sun all day long. I have a window on two sides, so it's filled with light, and I cannot wait to have this room, because I have yarn projects all over my house. I drive everyone crazy because, like many of us, I don't have one yarn project. I will have 4 or 5 on the go, and it's a little tidy pile that no one can touch. And there's yarn here and a crochet hook and stitch markers. And I know I am a bit messy with my work. Also, because I don't actually have a space, a lot of my yarn has to be shoved into baskets, into boxes, and I cannot see what I have. And when I see what I have more creativity. And I also am more economical with yarn. I use what I've got, and I do not excess buy. So back to what I started with. This lady has the most beautiful office, and on her wall she has a metal grid which holds all of her yarn. I'm going to throw in a picture now of this beautiful office, and this has inspired me that I want to have something similar for my office. Now, I've been searching everywhere for one of these yarn holders. It's clearly not a yarn holder. It's been repurposed from something else. What it originally was, I don't know. The closest thing I thought it could be would be a cotton thread holder for a manufacturer. For when they're big sewing, they have all the cones of all the different colors. So when I was at the Mega Atesanal, there was a sewing shop there, and they had these cone holders. So I bought one, and this is going to go in my office. Now, obviously, I don't buy the smallest one. I use a lot of yarn. I have a lot of colors. So this is what I bought, and I thought it was a really good deal. There was an offer on while I was there, and it was just 150 reais for 100 cone holders. I don't actually have I have a little bit of yarn here to show you. I will be using this to display my yarn, to put up my samples, and have it as a bit of inspiration on my wall. So this is my best buy for me, because it's going to go into my new office, and I am so excited to have my yarns up, to see what I have, and to have my samples, and for everything to be in order, because it's not right now. It's all over the house. So this is going to be going into the new office, and it even has a part on the bottom, which I don't think you can see. There's a piece of dowel here and some holes here which will add a rod, and then from there I can add some ribbons on here or strings. So it's a really practical decorative piece for me as a yarn designer, a crochet designer, to have for my office, and I am really excited for the next steps. So I'm going to wrap up this video here. I'm going to love you and leave you, and hope you've enjoyed this little snippet into Brazilian yarn industry, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!